sports. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's how we roll. It's wins and losses, highs and lows. It's effort, respect, and dedication. The High School Sports Beat. Sports. It's who we are.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, and thank you for joining us once again on the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. We continue our look back at 10 years of covering Section 5 sports, and we head to Locust Hill for some April golf. Here's Bill Pucko.
Which brings us to Locust Hill Country Club and the next big thing. Despite the obvious drawbacks to golfing or trying to golf in Rochester in the early spring, the guys here have it pretty good. They play great courses, all the great courses. Rush Henrietta hosted Pittsford Mendon, Webster Thomas, and HFL at Locust Hill.
One of the things that's great about Monroe County is we have a lot of private clubs that are very generous with their time as far as using them on Mondays, and so the kids get a chance to play exclusive clubs like Oak Hill, or we're here at Locust, and it's purely out of the generosity of those private clubs. And then most of the schools have a relationship with public courses, and where we can practice on a daily basis and get out for our home matches also. It's just it's one of the things that really promotes golf in the county, and the other factor is it's building the future of golf and other future clients for the clubs.
This being a four-way match, each team sends out its best 6 golfers. They count the 5 best scores, add them up, and there's your result. Pittsford Mendon is unbeaten and deep, such that there was next to no doubt that the Vikings would win here. We are rarely content with what we have. It's all about what's next. The next win, the next title, the next big thing. Meet Will Thompson of Pittsford, the latest in a line of great golfers being produced in that town. What separates Will from all the other top golfers in the section, he's a 7th grader. How do you coach a 12-year-old? I mean, do you have to remind yourself, this kid is like so young that maybe you have to handle him a little different?
Yeah, a lot of it's not, about his golf swing at all. It's about, coming back from, a bad hole or coming back from a bad round or whatever, and just mentally getting him prepared for some bigger tournaments down the road.
That road has already taken Thompson places. He plays on the PGA's junior circuit and has competed at Pinehurst in North Carolina, California, and has been overseas. But this is his first year as a varsity golfer on the Pittsford Mendon high school team. In just his 3rd match, he shot a 73 to share medalist honors at Locust Hill.
It's a really nice course. It's really tight, so it was kind of tough to hit the driver straight, but I putted really well and got the job done today. So
yeah, 73 is a great score, right?
Yeah, I played pretty well. I like I said, I didn't hit many greens, but my short game was really good out there.
Thompson's approach to the game helps separate him. He plays year-round, he has a personal coach, and expectations of himself that make Will his own worst critic.
I think just with experience, everything will come, but mental game is definitely a big part of it, and just trying to get through everything, grinding every shot out.
You're a little tough on yourself out there sometimes, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I get a little frustrated sometimes. I got to work on that a little bit, but I expect a little too much from myself sometimes, and I got to ease up a little bit.
When you got a good golfer on your hands, it's the people that can handle adversity and the people that are bouncing back from bad rounds or bad shots that, you can't tell whether they're even par or 4 under par or 5 over par.
You help accelerate that process as a good coach?
You can. They got to be willing to listen a little bit. They got to be willing to accept where they're at in the process, how good they are and where they're going to go. And, it's all what they want to do with themselves and what their demeanor is on the golf course.
It has been said at this point of his development that Thompson is ahead of Gavin Hall, the last big thing at Mendon, who now plays at the University of Texas. So he is special. Do you ever find yourself wishing you could just be like a normal kid?
I mean, sometimes, but I'm kind of glad I have talent in something, and so I'm not just sitting around on the couch all day or something like that. But I don't know. It's fun out here, so I'm glad I get to play.
By shooting a 73, Sheridan medalist honors on the day with teammate Gunnar Doyle, a sophomore with eyes on a sectional title. He was second last year, and playing for a long, long time.
My grandpa still plays, and he's in his 70s now, and he still plays with his friends. They keep it competitive, and look forward to that.
You play with him too?
Yeah, I do. I play with him a lot out at Oak Hill and down south in Florida.
Do you take it easy on the old man?
Not really. I like taking his money.
Tyler Sulik, who shot an 86, represents Rush Henrietta. Tyler, like Doyle, is just a sophomore. They see a lot of each other.
He's outstanding. Yeah, definitely whenever you play with somebody who's got a little bit more skill than you want to always kind of achieve, but you got to stay within yourself and play your own game.
You see a lot of each other, though, don't you? I mean, especially both being sophomore and all, you probably travel a lot of the same courses in the summer, right?
Yep. We definitely play a lot over the summer together, and we do here just as team-wise, and yeah, he's a good kid, so.
The seniors in the foursome struggled a bit. HFL's Ryan Boozman was in constant recovery mode, scrambling his way to a 91. Ryan will attend SUNY Delhi next year and pursue a degree in pro golf management.
I would like to lead that from the business perspective, being a head rep for a sales company like TaylorMade, selling stuff for them, or even teaching. Just love of the game, help kids out.
This was the fourth match of the year for Webster's Jake Visna and his worst performance of the young season. Jake shot an 85. The day, which started warm and sunny, regressed into a, typical Rochester day, which may help explain both his score and the fact that Visna has already chosen to attend South Carolina University next year. You know, we have such a heritage here, golf in Rochester, and always in the spring when it's like this, it's surprising, like, how can we be good at this, you know?
Yeah, right, I know. Well, I must translate over, we're good in the cold and real good in the warm, you know what I mean? So, you know, I don't know, I got thick hands, I don't know what to say.
What's it like playing with the guys? You go out there, you know, you get the four number ones from the schools and stuff. Is it a fun round of golf?
I'll be honest, I like it better playing with a teammate just because I like to talk and joke around a little bit more. It's a little more intimidating to say. It's not per se intimidating, but it's more intimidating than just playing with your buddies and going out there and having fun. It is a lot of fun to compete with good talent, though. I enjoy that part.
Coming up next, Matt Trabold joins us for the High School Notebook. We've got that and more when the High School Sports Beat continues. Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again to the High School Sports Beat. I am Dave Yates. It's time now for the High School Notebook, and that means it's time for Matt Trabold to join us. Matt, thanks so much for climbing on board.
Thanks for having me on.
Now, we've been doing this for a while, and it seems like there's one thing we consistently can talk about. It's the Bishop Kearney Girls basketball team, and this year, no exception.
Bishop Kearney Girls Hoops has always operated and partaken in the exceptional. Even with 2 Division I commits sidelined this season so far, BK hasn't wavered from that exceptional. Seton Hall commit center Sanaya Wilson has not been able to play this season thus far due to a hurt hip, plus Niagara commit guard Mariana Freeman was sidelined as well not long into this season. But Kearney still began the year 4-0, all against big-name teams. That's Gates, Schrader, Mercy, East. Wilson and Freeman may be out, but half of the senior quartet of top-flight talent that has been playing together for years and years is still available and thriving. Camille Wright and Taylor Norris. Another leader is junior guard Kaya Good. We talked about her with soccer not too long ago in the fall. She is in her 4th year contributing on varsity. 6'1" sophomore Cadence Hadley, who was on Brighton a couple years ago. She is having a breakout season, especially down low, without having that Seton Hall commit in the middle. Another interesting student athlete on the roster these days, the 8th grade transfer guard from Victor, Leasia Wilson, who has what it takes to also be a lot with these names that I just mentioned a second ago, be one of the best ever to come through this storied program. It is no surprise Kevin Shepard has another supreme squad this time around. The team has really had a chance to show its depth here in 2021.
Well, on the boys' side of things, we talk about the Kearney girls being so dominant and always being a story. Talking about the boys' team that's cut from the same cloth pretty much as far as East.
If the state tournament had happened last season, East High boys basketball was one of the tip-top candidates to win a state title in Class A. Despite their leading scorer from last year, Zachariah Harris-Scott, now being graduated, as well as another captain, Kiori Barley, the 2021 Eagles are still an absolute powerhouse with how much talent returned and with a big-name addition on top of that coming in this year. Replacing Harris-Scott in the middle is 6'8" McQuaid transfer Darren Blocker Jr. He had his share of good showings with the Knights, but now he's grown himself into a major candidate for Section 5 boys basketball MVP this year. He's so much more, wonderfully confident and aggressive on the court this season. Plus, now he's a fluid jump shooter from all levels and can bring the ball up the floor if need be. He's getting D1 interest from Hampton, and that list only going to grow. Speaking of D1 talent, 6'4" junior guard Damani Barley, son of head coach Daryl Barley, we've talked about him before. He's getting offers of interest from a couple handfuls of D1 programs, with UB and Hofstra joining most recently. Powerful 6'4" junior backcourt player Justice Ross Simmons also is very much on the D1 radar with his unique skill set. Then rounding out that starting five, there is just so much talent. It's two more of the best guards in the state in Clinique Jackson and Kai McCullough.
Hey, Matt, awesome stuff, man. Thanks for hopping on board once again. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me on.
We're back with more of the High School Sports Beat right after this. Well, coming up next, this week's Making the Grade nominee, and later on, the area's best pitcher and hitter. They duel it out when Mercy visits Brockport softball. We'll have that when the High School Sports Beat returns. Welcome back, and thank you for watching the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Making the grade this week is Greece Odyssey's Colleen Maniaci. The senior with the Leopard softball and tennis team made the high honor with distinction and carries a 96.8 grade average. Colleen is a captain of the tennis team and was a 2019 first team All-County selection. She has played 5 seasons on the softball squad and is planning on attending MCC in the fall to continue her softball career. This week, Colleen Maniaci is making the grade. Now, if you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. Send them in to mtg@rocksportsnow.com. And now, here's some of the athletes, teams, and coaches making news in our Section 5 Spotlight. Congrats to HFL girls basketball coach Steve Willoughby on his 500th career win. 31 seasons, 9 Section 5 titles, and the 2005 state championship. Congrats on an amazing run, only the third coach in Section 5 history to reach the 500-win plateau. And more honors for Edison Tech alum Daisha Fair. She scored her 1,000th career point on January 30th in just her 44th game. The fastest any player, man or woman, has ever reached that mark at UB, and the 14th fastest in the history of Division I women's basketball. Penfield's Parker Kropman is a redshirt senior for Drexel Wrestling and is ranked 21st in the nation at 157 pounds. Last season, Kropman was named first alternate to the 2020 NCAA championships. Well, coming up next, it's the Slugger versus the Ace when the High School Sports Beat continues.
And now to Eichel. He floated one. Score!
Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. We flash back now to April of 2014, a rare matchup in Section 5 softball as the area's best hitter and best pitcher meet in a regular season game for the first time. Here's Bill Pucko.
It was a thoroughly irresistible matchup. Great teams, compelling athletes. Mercy at Brockport softball. They shared all Greater Rochester Player of the Year honors a year ago. 2 Division I college-bound softball superstars. Senior Aidan Falk of Mercy, zeroing in on the state home run record against Brockport junior Julia DiMartino, having surrendered a single earned run in 5 starts so far, the last 3 of which were no-hitters. The slugger and the ace, playing for 2 defending Section 5 champions. How did this come about? I mean, do you guys just get together and decide this is a game that ought to be played?
At the beginning of the season, I reached out to them and said, hey, that we would like to get a game in, and he changed the schedule around to accommodate us, and here we are.
This was the first time Falk and DiMartino would face each other in a real game.
It's 2 quality kids going at it. They're 2 great players. Our philosophy is we're going to go after everybody. So, unless the situation calls for it late in the game, we're going to pitch to everybody come what may. We're using this as a good litmus test for us. It's going to make us better for down the road. And, you always want to face kids that have the capability and the ability that she does.
Everybody wins here today, don't they?
Absolutely. It's a great game for softball. We're actually outside. It's a good day. We got to play. So, yeah, I think so. Hopefully everybody's in for a treat. A real good game today.
Falk battled against DiMartino for the first time in the top of the first inning. In a 7-pitch at bat, Falk fouled off 3 straight before striking out.
Kind of got what I was expecting, a lot better rise ball than she had last year, which threw me off a lot. Good movement, really good movement, good speed, just like a solid all-around pitcher. And personally, I swung at the rise ball when I shouldn't have swung at the rise ball, so that kind of what's got me. But, with a pitcher like that, you can't be disappointed because of how skillful, and she places her spots perfectly. So, yeah. I mean, I would be upset about it, but because she's such a good pitcher, it's all right.
The bottom of the inning, Brockport threatened to almost immediately blow the game open. A walk, a stolen base, and a bunt single by Serena Roos, who took second in the confusion, had runners at second and third with 1 out. Roos had 3 hits.
We really work to sacrifice ourselves and make opportunities for the next player up to move us around. So at first we saw her on third, so we were trying to make an opportunity for everyone to move us around.
Mercy pitcher Megan Ferrioli worked out of that jam by getting DiMartino to fly out and Shannon Allen to ground out. Round 2 for the Falk versus DiMartino match occurred with Aidan leading off the 4th inning. 5 pitches, Julia slipped a called 3rd strike past Aidan.
I got the pitch called and I tried to hit my spot, but I tried to jam her inside, like I said, because I know I kind of have an idea of where she can hit it, so I tried to do my best to try to keep it away.
The game itself remained scoreless to the 7th and final regulation inning. DiMartino was working on a 1-hitter with 14 strikeouts. She would get 17. Leading off the inning, Mercy's Michaela Schleer made contact. Good contact. The sophomore infielder had a triple.
It was just hard work that I've been doing for the season, and my teammates, they are the most to blame for all of it because they've been pushing me so hard, and if you're going to blame anyone, blame them.
All right, so look, you're running around the bases, you're going towards third base, you realize, man, that was big. What was that like?
I was so excited, and just knowing that I could do that for my team, I was so proud of myself.
Falk was the next batter. DiMartino pitched a rounder for a 4-pitch walk. With Schleer still at third, Falk took first, never broke stride, and continued towards second. The double steal was on. Michaela just managed to get under the tag at the plate.
I had a feeling she was going to take a lead and go to second, so I wanted to fake her out and get the runner at third, but I don't know, I guess whatever happens, happens. I was scared. I was so freaked out. I saw her going, and Julia faked it, and she got me. And so I was just praying and hoping to God that I was safe at home.
Nice. So the play wasn't in advance. It just kind of developed.
Just kind of happened.
Brockport rallied in the bottom of the 7th, putting the tying and go-ahead runners in scoring position with 1 out. But Mercy's pitcher, Megan Ferrioli, struck out the last 2 batters she faced to preserve the 1-0 win. Going into the game, were you thinking, I want to show them that I can pitch too?
I was thinking that, yes, but again, my defense is just so good that it's like I don't have to, blow balls by people because I can count on them. So, but I did want to show my stuff, yeah.
It's huge, and it's exactly what we needed just to help us keep moving on with the season and all that kind of stuff, because we came back from tougher losses in Ohio. So it's nice to know that we still have fight in us, and it's a really good game, especially playing such a good team. It's a great feeling to know that we got it in us too.
Thanks for watching. Be safe, and we'll see you next week for more of the High School Sports Beat.